The FE2-5B183 is the most popular tank in the entirety of World of Tanks Blitz, accumulating over 2.5 million battles in just the last 90 days. That is absolutely insane when you think of just how many games have been played in the vehicle. So, in today's video, I figured I'd review basically the Tier 8 equivalent of the 183, the Caliban. If you're a fan of that vehicle, which there's a high chance you are, judging how many battles are played in it, you will absolutely love this tank. Now, I will say, just like the 183, the Caliban features the worst average win rate in Tier 10, as this does in Tier 8. It's not a tank you're going to be winning a lot of games in. Surprisingly, I've actually been able to go about 75% win rate in this vehicle, but it's definitely not a vehicle you're going to win a lot of games in. It's the worst performing Tier 8, and it makes a lot of sense, because first of all, it only has two types of ammunition. It has AP and high explosive squash head. The AP deals 580 damage a shot, which is very beefy, with an actually decent chunk of pen of 230. The high explosive deals 860, with a massive 100 and almost 90 millimeters of pen. But to combat that, it has terrible DPM at 1750. You're only going to get a lot of damage per minute when loading high explosive. The problem is that you have to pen your HE, which is not too easy. Even though you got a lot of pen, you feature .474 dispersion and an aiming time close to 6 seconds. So that's a big downside. The tank isn't very fast, only going 30 and reversing at 14. And armor-wise, the vehicle's hull is 94 and the turret is 120. It's essentially a giant box that everybody's going to penetrate that occasionally absolutely nukes your health when trying to fight it. It's really fun. Like, it is by far one of the most fun Tier 8s in my garage, because unlike the 183, this is quite an easy tank to deal with. The vehicle is incredibly easy to shoot, and it can't get away with camping because it has the worst dispersion ever. So usually, the only time you get bonked by the Caliban is when you really don't know how to fight it, which at Tier 8 is a lot of people. So up against us, we got a WZ-131 Shiri 45 TP, WZ-132 Semovente Contacaro 64, an M4190, and an Action 10. Okay, we'll see what we can do here. Alright, well, starting off, I'm going to make my way over towards Base C. Now, something that is nice about this tank is that it does feature a decent power to weight, but as you can see, it's still not going to go very fast. The Super Hellcat's trying to push me, but he's not really getting me all that fast, I'll be completely honest. But hey, we got up to about 35 downhill. We're going to make our way over here, and maybe we can get some damage into the WZ. They're going to try and kill my Bulldog, and while they do that, I'm going to poke this guy. Oh, never mind, he's dead. Well, we haven't been able to do all too much yet. We've just been doing a lot of driving. This is obviously one of the downsides of not being very fast. You just drive a lot, and by the time you get there, well, the enemy's already dead. Ooh, we got the Cheery in the back, though, aiming. Oh, really? Really? It's a Cheery! How did the thing not get pens? That's so sad. I'll take 350 damage. I mean, that's not bad, but I still cannot believe that that Cheery did not get penned by our shell. Alright, we got the Semovente Contracar in front of us, and we're going to aim it on his lower plate, and yes! 826 damage. There you go. Alright, well, just like that, we've been able to deal 1,200 damage in 2 shots. So, even though our first shell didn't pen, it looks like our second shell more than enough made up for it. Alright, well, we can see this Action 10 is pulling off to the side, and this vehicle actually features a solid amount of gun depression at 8 degrees, which means that if this Action 10 keeps on going, ooh, 904 into that poor Action 10. Just like that, we have already annihilated enemy tanks. I mean, this is what the Caliban can do. It doesn't really care about your feelings. It will destroy your tank. So at this point, I'm going to ignore the enemy WZ-132, and I'm going to push for the enemy 45 TP, because he's got 1,400 health left, and he's not going to very soon. I am going to full speed drive towards this tank, and we're going to aim right in on his lower plate. Aiming, 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 and oh yeah, 899 damage. Just like that, we did 2,974 damage. That was a pretty good game to showcase really what the Caliban can be capable of doing. Now, let's be real. The enemy team was not the most skilled. That Semovente kept his entire lower plate angled up in the easiest way for me to penetrate. And the Action 10 just drove out in the open and died. And we also had the enemy 45 TP, which really couldn't do much because of the position he was in. Unironically, the easiest tank to pen, the frickin' Cheery, was the one that didn't get penned. I'm actually so surprised, but I'm not going to complain. We did 3,000 damage in a tier 8 and just annihilated everything in front of us. Here we are, second game. This time we're up against a couple tier 9s, literally being the Object 704 and the 50 TP. Both very strong tier 9s. They also have some solid tier 8s like the Tiger 2 and the Chisei. Actually, both of those are really strong tier 8 heavies. I'm going to go to C, and I'm going to try and support my heavies the best I can. We got a Chrysler K, an M3Yo, and me. Now, if the enemy heavies do overextend, they will learn their lesson fairly quickly. The Chrysler's pushing me, which is actually quite nice. The Chrysler's a heavy tank, so it should be able to push me quite easily. So, let's start off this game by making our way right towards the Tiger 2, and let's see if we can get a little bit of damage out. That's a hard pen, but we were actually able to get it out. I'm very surprised, but yeah, that Tiger just got absolutely badonkered by us, and that Chrysler got a nice pen into the enemy, that enemy player as well. Okay, well, this is not too bad so far. A Chrysler's gonna poke, and the 50 TP is going to aim it on him, which means we can aim it on this guy, and, well, we can't pen him with that, but that's fine. Aiming. Let's just go for his hatch if he's going to sit still. There you go. Nice 548 damage shot. You can see very easily how the AP has plenty of penetration to cut through opponents. I mean, that's a tier 9 heavy, and our AP quite easily cut through that player. So it is something that I do... Ooh, that 704 just bonked us, though. Alright, well, let's reload, and let's aim in another shell. Oh, yeah, another 560 damage right there. Our Yo is now finally punishing that enemy RU-251, and just like that, once again, we're doing a pretty solid job here. You'll notice that this tank doesn't feature a lot going for it. Again, the armor hasn't worked great this game, and not much is going amazing for us, but I will give the gun some credit. It's been doing its job, so we're just going to finish off the 50 TP, and just like that, we absolutely obliterated that tier 9 heavy. All that's left is the ISU and the Object 704. Now, I'm quite confident that the 704 is sitting, yes, right in front of us. So, let's wait for that 704 to look at my teammate. I'm aiming on his lower plate. Aiming, and... Oh, that's a rip. Alright, well, you know what? I'll take the 280 damage. It wasn't a pen, but it was still at least a little bit of damage to throw on our pallet. This is the Caliban. It's not the best tank, but it can be put in some very fun and engaging situations. It's a vehicle that I would definitely keep an eye out for if this suits your playstyle, because it's fun, it doesn't feel overpowered, but sometimes it can absolutely annihilate. So there you go. 2,400 damage, we came out with a victory, and we did second on the team. Our Leopard absolutely farmed. But there you have it. Hopefully enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.